Hi there, welcome back to the Apatros review. In this episode, Scared to Death, directed by Christy Caban in the year 1947. Hi there, welcome back to the Apatros review. I'm your host Mila Sipka, and join me as I take you on a ride through the wild world of science fiction action horror, all from my personal DVD collection. Now, in this episode, we'll look at the film Scared to Death, not to be confused with the 1980 William Malone film, which was an Alien knockoff. Now, this is the earlier one, the film that came out, was released theatrically on the 1st of February 1947 in the US, and the production values are pretty much similar to one of those Monogram 9 films. And this is actually the last Bela Lugosi film I'm reviewing for a while, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll review White Zombie in the far distant future, a couple of years from now, probably. Now, Scared to Death was also notable for being the only color film that Bela Lugosi ever did. I mean, starring role. I'll explain that later. This is available on several public domain labels, including my review copy from Mill Creek Entertainment, as part of their Pure Terror 50 film set. Now, Mill Creek is a company that has made its name pushing a whole heap of public domain box sets that have anywhere from 50 to 200 films on them. And also, in Australia, because it's a public domain title, Flashback Entertainment and Passable Entertainment have both put this film in their respective catalogues. The Flashback print is in better condition than the Passable print, the Passable one coming out on one of those dirt cheap $10 box sets years ago, which had a black and white picture, even though the picture wasn't color, really poor quality. The Flashback print was actually better, but the Mill Creek one pretty much outguns them both by having the trailer attached to the end. What a nice surprise. Now, Scared to Death, like I said, not to be confused with the William Malone's 1980 sci-fi horror flick of the same name, is a creaky old 1947 thriller that starred Bela Lugosi in what should be a starring role, but his character isn't the focus of the story. In fact, George Zucker was more of a lead in that one. That being said, this film is historically important because it is the only color film that ever starred Lugosi in it. That being said, Lugosi did appear in color twice before, a brief supporting role in the 1930 Technicolor film Viennese Nights, and a color newsreel, American propaganda reel from the World War II, showing Lugosi donating blood for the war effort. I've seen an awful lot of Lugosi's work in the past few months, watching the entirety of the Monogram 9, and the 1939 thriller Dark Eyes of London, which I reviewed a short while ago. Scared to Death won't be the last Lugosi film I'll be covering, but it will be the last one I do for this year. Now, the story is simple enough. Laura Van E., a former dancer who is a really nasty piece of work, having married the son of a rich doctor for a bit, but still haunted by the former husband she betrayed to the Nazis for a small fortune, is lying on the morgue table dead. As the medical examiner and his assistant begin the autopsy, Laura's corpse remembers back to when she was alive and the rather weird circumstances that led to her death. In the last couple of days of her life, Laura was getting more and more agitated, especially since she realizes that her supposedly dead former husband might still be alive and is going around trying to get his revenge. At the same time, her current hubby and his doctor father, who both want the marriage dissolved, are visited by an old relative and his dwarf sidekick, who have knowledge of the secret passages that are built into the mansion that the Van E family lives in. It used to be a sanitarium, and the incompetent former detective who is now working as Dr. Van E's private detective is getting really impatient with his new job and is itching to find some way to rejoin the police force. But in order to do that, he needs to solve a crime, especially a murder. A newspaper reporter and his ditzy girlfriend also enjoy the party as several strange practical jokes, and a hovering green death mask is seen floating around the windows outside. Things pick up the pace towards the macabre conclusion when Laura finally learns the truth about her ex-hubby's fate and his revenge reaches its end. Please refer to the film's title to learn how she gets it. To be honest, Scared to Death might not be associated with the infamous Monogram 9, but it does share some attributes, most notably the casting of Lugosi, and the fact that the film's director of photography is Marcel Le Picard, who did the same work in most of the Monogram 9 a few years before. Like the Monogram 9, which can be seen as either being serious or as comedies depending on your personal taste, Scared to Death is played pretty straight, but does double as a comedy of sorts if you're unable to take the ridiculously contrived story at all seriously. Given the comic atmosphere of the production, it would be somewhat redundant to call the acting a joke, but only Lugosi does the acting with the necessary respect. Although that is also redundant to say, given how I previously described how much of a professional Lugosi is. In fact, Lugosi you had a reputation for treating the most ridiculous material with the utmost respect. He always treated it well, no matter how cheap he was paid or how stupid the story gets. Now, the rest of the cast are just a bunch of clowns, although the performances are not exactly terrible. If you treat this as a comedy, mark up the acting decent. Now, while the ridiculous story robs the film of a few points, Scared to Death is pretty short. It's only about 68 minutes long in NTSC format, and packs in a few cheap laughs, so this film gets a C+, 5 out of 10 from me for being passable. Due to the unique nature of being the only true Lugosi color film, Lugosi fans absolutely need to own a copy of this. Although with all the mediocre public domain prints floating around out there, track down a restored print. And whatever you do, don't get the palest print that came out in one of the horror 10 packs in the late 2000s. That one was very badly treated in black and white as well, whereas the much more common Flashback print and the Mill Creek one were a lot better. The Mill Creek print I watched this review was on the same level as the Flashback print in terms of quality. Although for some unknown but welcome reason, the film's trailer was attached to the Mill Creek print as an unexpected bonus. Nice. Now there's no gore or nudity here, although a death mask and a severed dummy's head do make appearances here. Now, like I said, the public domain prints of this don't have any supplements on them, or subtitles or whatever, just mono sound and a 4x3 frame. But that being said, the Flashback print it's on a double bill with Invisible Ghost, one of those Bela Lugosi massive horrors packs from Flashback. I mean, you can get for $1 or $2, and so dirt cheap, and the quality's okay. Mill Creek print looks better, slightly, and has the trailer attached at the end, which is a pretty good surprise. No supplement. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I don't do requests, but if you want to know if I have a particular film in my collection, just hit me up in the comments section below. I'll answer. And I'm doing a little something special for Halloween, or as I call it, Coronaween, because this is Halloween the year 2020, the Corona year. So, just look at the comments section on 27th of October to find out what films I'm going to review then. It'll be something special. As always, I hope you're staying safe, and that's it for this review.